for the whole deal right from the get-go. He goes to jump school, he does Ranger school, the most grueling 61 days that anybody in any branch of the service can go through. A lot of guys wash out. He did the whole deal, became a certified airborne Ranger, a gung-ho troop, ready to go to war.
In the early spring of 2004, he finds himself in Afghanistan with the 2nd Battalion of the 75th Ranger Regiment.
Musharraf in Pakistan had pushed a lot of the Taliban loyalists, the Al-Qaeda, out of western Pakistan over into eastern Afghanistan, the real mountainous terrain, the caves where bin Laden is hanging out.
Tillman's unit has been busily flushing out the terrorists. And now, Pat's fate has brought him to this ridgeline, firing at Taliban fighters and hearing enemy rounds snap past his head. Soon, one of the vehicles caught in the ambush below makes it out of the kill zone. The Rangers in the vehicle spot a human form on a ridge up ahead. After the incident, they will say they had thought it was a Taliban fighter. Instead, it's the friendly Afghan soldier that accompanied Corporal Tillman and the other American to the ridge. The Rangers opened fire on Tillman's position.
All hell was breaking loose. A very chaotic situation, trying to maintain discipline, but you want to kill instead of being killed.
A bullet takes the life of the friendly Afghan. Pat and the other Ranger begin waving their arms and screaming, "Friendlies, cease fire, cease fire." The gunners in the Humvee below will later say they couldn't hear the Americans on the ridge. They continue firing at Tillman. Eventually, Tillman pops a smoke grenade to signal that there are Rangers at his position, not enemy combatants. The firing from the Humvee finally stops momentarily. At this point, Tillman and the other Ranger believe the danger has passed. They stand up from behind the rocks that have been protecting them. The Rangers in the vehicle below will say after the incident that they thought the smoke emitted from Tillman's position must have come from an enemy mortar round. Once again, the Humvee opens fire. At the start of this new fusillade, the soldier next to Tillman immediately hits the ground and begins to pray. But it's too late for Pat himself. There is pain in his voice as he once again screams for the shooters to cease fire. Soon, his voice is gone. Pat Tillman is dead. Patrick Daniel Tillman is honored at a memorial service in San Jose, California on May 2nd, 2004.
Hear the stories that people told about him. Just some of them were really funny, some were poignant. You can't paint a more alive guy for a service honoring a dead soldier than they did that day.
Pat also receives another recognition, the Silver Star with Combat V, for his selfless actions in Afghanistan. The U.S. Army is late in announcing that the former football player's death was a result of friendly fire. The matter is still under review to determine if the Army engaged in any intentional deception. Also, at the insistence of the Tillman family, there is a criminal probe underway to determine if any of the soldiers who fired on Tillman are guilty of negligent homicide. The loss to friendly fire of a remarkable patriot like Pat Tillman is profoundly saddening. For his fellow servicemen, the only solace is that his loss helps fuel their passion in the ongoing pursuit of Al-Qaeda and Taliban terrorists in Afghanistan. Osama bin Laden and Mullah Omar remain at large, and the Taliban movement is emerging as a threat once more.